we enter nothing. A dense silence, a trembling field. A pillar of points, floating, fragile, stands alone. No direction, no gravity, no time, only perception. From the depths of this uncertainty, something begins to move. A presence, not clearly human, not clearly machine. It remains unseen, yet its gestures ripple through the field. It doesn't speak. It gestures. Space answers his movements. A kind of resonance begins. He appears, a figure, ambiguous, sealed, where the environment is not separate but a continuation of his perception. There is no fixed room, only a shifting web that responds to attention, to gesture, to nearness. With a lift of his hand, the cloud begins to shape. It stretches, it listens, he widens it, extends it, not as architect, but as inhabitant, as organism in feedback with its world. He sits, and the field answers again. A seat rises from the points, not summoned, but grown. A table follows, a glass, a simple form, not dropped in, but formed from the very air that surrounds him. This space is not built, it is lived. There are no universal coordinates, only those drawn by his movement, his needs, his presence. Then he rises, the forms dissolve, the chair retracts, the surface fades. We don't know where we are, or when, but we feel this is not simulation, it's sensation. He walks toward a boundary, one that wasn't there before. A circle is drawn, and something opens. The world parts gently, as if peeled back by intention alone. A tunnel forms, moving with him, enfolding him as he ascends into the unknown. Behind him, the world dissolves, not broken, released. He kneels. From the trembling field, something stirs again. A sphere, dense, luminous, not summoned, but condensed. It pulses. He lifts it, above him. A gesture of burden, of becoming. He holds it like Atlas, not in punishment, but in purpose. The sphere swells. Its surface breathes with possibility. Then it bursts. Light, silence, space. He is gone. Only the field remains. A trembling sea of points, shifting, breathing. But without him, it does not form. It does not follow. The silence grows deeper. The space does not answer. It only waits. And then, a flicker, a recognition, not in the distance, but in us. Hands, ours. We see them. We are not watching. We are within. With one motion, time halts. Stillness blankets the field. The observer collapses into the observed. Another breath, and we release. The moment flows again. We test again. Focus. A center forms. Gravity is born. A force gathers the points into a singularity. We hold and let it burst. He returns, or perhaps he was never truly gone. We circle around him, unsure if he was ever separate, or if we merely needed distance to recognize proximity. And then, his contours begin to dissolve. His body releases itself, not as loss, but as return. He becomes cloud again, becomes point, becomes part of the trembling field he once shaped. What remains is not a figure, not an object, but relation. A web of resonance where once there was form. The inhabitant and his environment, no longer apart. We continue the orbit, around the tower, around the memory of presence. The loop closes gently, not with finality, but with continuation. This was no simulation, no scripted architecture. It was an exploration of dwelling without ground, where perception becomes structure, where attention becomes form. This space was not designed to be entered. It was designed to be felt. Perhaps this is the habitat of the future, not composed of walls, but of possibilities. A space that listens, responds, and disappears again when it is no longer needed. A space that dwells with us, not around us. Architecture here is not what stands, but what relates. Not what contains, but what responds. As we drift once more through the trembling field, the question remains, not what space is, but when it becomes. In the orbit between presence and perception, between need and nearness, dwelling begins.